Next up is our session on the most talked about topic among marketing leaders. It is omni-channel. To address building a personalized omni-channel experience with a customer-first mindset, please welcome on stage Saurabh Bardwaj. Saurabh, please welcome on stage, and he is a regional vice president GCC at Netcore Cloud. Saurabh is a seasoned leader. He's a sales professional and IT and tech enthusiast who spent all of his career working with modern age technologies like RFID, cloud collaboration, and now MarTech. Please welcome Saurabh on stage and welcome him with a round of applause.
Wow. After 2 years, again, facing the stage, great to be here. Uh, I think first of all, kudos to Martech Vibe for pulling this event after 2 years of lockdown and taking those Zoom meetings. And let me introduce myself. My name is Saurabh Bharadwaj, and I'm regional VP for Netcore Cloud, handling entire Middle East market. And I'm a strong promoter of omni-channel experience, building proper retention, and I'm going to shed some light on those pieces. But before I go there, may I just ask you all, have you ever downloaded an app or visited a website and then may have uninstalled that app the same day or never used it again and it's lying there somewhere, right? Well, let me tell you, you are not the only one. Study says that an overwhelming 91% of users uninstall the app because of a poor product experience, or they are not able to figure out how to use the app. 78% of those users uninstall the app on the very day, and this number goes to 98% in 30 days span. And we all know, right? Acquisition, let me get the numbers here. We all know that acquiring a customer is such a big cost, right? We spend a lot of money. We bring them to the app that we have built with a sweat and blood, and then we are not able to acquire them because the product experience was not right, right? So I have seen in last 2 years that retention has become a new way of acquiring your customers, just not letting them go once they reach your app. But how do you do that? You do that by creating an omni-channel experience for all your customers, right? Because there's a lot of buzz about multi-channel marketing and there's a lot of confusion about what omni-channel marketing is. And we see this because right now, there are a plethora of options that you can reach out your customers to. It could be an email, SMS, app push notifications, web messages, some other, like WhatsApp is coming into the picture where you can interact your customers with a WhatsApp. So there's a lot of channels available. And what I have seen some big companies doing a mistake or making a mistake is that they start pushing so many notifications, so many emails to all their customers without understanding whether they are even looking at my emails or whether I'm sending them the right content. A person who is interested in buying a shoe, if you are sending an email or an app push notification about a shirt, he might not be interested. Or maybe take a more relevant example of a bank, right? If a bank is sending a communication to a millionaire about having a credit card, what kind of branding image that leaves your customer with? Should we not refrain ourselves from sending those unlimited emails and app push notifications? First, understand this customer is potential for financial investments. And that will reduce the number of communication that you will do with this client. But at the same time, you will get a better open rate, better coming back to the app because he sees relevance in that. And that's what we call omni-channel experiences. You should onboard any system that gives you a one view of all your customers. All your channels are related to this system and understands the behavior. What time my customer opens my email? What is the right time to reach out to him, right? The subject line of my communication, does it have right keywords to attract the attention? I'll give you a live example. Suppose I go to airline booking website, say any of those travel agencies, and I try to book a flight from here to London or here to America. But if you send me a communication about some other travel or other destination, this is not the right time to push that kind of communication. After this person came to your website and he abandoned or left your cart, the communication that should go to this customer is only about that flight that he left. And that's what omni-channel provides you with. But then in omni-channel as well, you have to personalize the communication that you do, right? You have to understand in the last interaction that he has done on my app or on my website, what kind of products he has seen, what is his purchasing power, understanding the device he's using. Is he using a low-range phone, or he's using the latest iPhone, or his browser is Safari or a Chrome, right? That gives you a lot of insight on customers' buying power, whether he's looking for discounts or he could be going for the premium package. So right from the very moment he touches your app, your web portal, make sure that all the communication that you draft will be very knitted to his buying power, the locality he's living in. I was having a discussion yesterday with one supermarket giant, and they were saying that we want to do a concentrated approach to our customers. People who live in an area where a lot of family live, there's a certain kind of offers that we want to push to them, to a place where, like Dubai Marina or maybe some other place where a lot of bachelors live, that what kind of notifications we should send to them. So we should start personalizing. And we should not only personalize our website, but app as well. So how do we do that? Right from the moment he touches your website, you may wonder how we can personalize this experience, because he's coming to my website for the very first time. So starting from the time he's coming to your website, the area that he's coming to your website, like I said, the device price that he's using or device set that he's using that power, you can start predicting him something, people who have the same behavior, and then you try to do the first engagement by showing a couple of features on the homepage where the probability of buying that customer is more. Then going to the product listing page, when he reaches your product listing page, here the whole personalization starts acting in up. Now, suppose I went to a product listing page and I want to buy a nice shirt, right? And in this category, there could be 1,000 products. And I have a patience of scrolling up to 2 pages. And after that, certainly, if I don't like something, I will drop off, right? Here, the magic happens. With the personalized engine, out of those 1,000 products that you have on this listing page, can you push the product from the last 1,000 SKU to the front of this page or at the top of this page? This is what personalization real time does. So the problem of long tail, like there is a study which says that 80% of your business comes from the 20% top sellers. And all the other products are lying there in the long tail, and then you have to run a discount or a sale on it. You might steal a deal out of it, because sometimes you really find good products at a very cheap price. But we have the power to personalize it. So why don't we personalize based on his behavior? Going forward, when he reaches the product display page of your website or your app, you might have seen Amazon killing it, right? Whenever you try to go to a PDP, they will show you frequently bought together, people who like this also like this. Now, this should be real time. This should be AI based. People who have done this also done this, right? On those segments, you can show them the products which most likely to go with that. So 2 to 3 widgets on this page, you can personalize them and then show them the results. And then can you have another special page on your website which works like a personal boutique, where everything that I might like based on my eyeball data, because I'm scrolling through the website, I have seen a lot of products, we have clicked on some products and we have missed out some products. Based on that, can we score those interests of that customer? And on a personal boutique, we show only those products that he or she might buy, and then let them decide whether they want to pursue it or not. And then before they leave, I have seen this a lot. We all follow exit intent pop-ups on our website, right? But what we show, a simple message saying that please leave your email ID and we will get back to you. But that is the last step that you can get your user attention. Showing, instead of that exit intent pop-up, you show them 4 to 5 products before they are about to leave your website that they might like to buy, right? Because they have clicked on 5 or 6 products on your page. You already know what are the products they are liking it. The products they have not seen, you show them here. What we have seen with the study is like 5 to 7% reduction in the bounce rate from just this exit intent pop-up change. Now, then why to limit yourself just with the personalization on the app side? Make your mobile app that everyone carries as a growth engine, right? So there is a new culture of nudges, and I'm sure that you all might have seen these nudges somewhere or the else. Now, go everywhere, any supermarket, you see this nudge which says 2 meter apart. The reason of the nudge is to make sure that if you have forgot that there is a social distancing followed, that shows you and that sets you apart by 2 meter, even if you have forgot. Why don't we take that nudge into the digital world? So suppose you have a fantastic app, a digital app or a digital wallet, and you have some hero features. The customer has come to your website or the app for the very first time. If you miss out on providing that, perfect experience to the customer might go. So on the very first visit of your app, if you can show them a small nudge on your hero features that sets your app apart from rest all of the apps. It's just a small dot, non-intrusive. It's not like an in-app message which you have to go to and cancel. It's just a small nudge. If you click anywhere else, this will go away, but it will again certainly draw the attention of the customer to your hero features. Contextual walkthrough, and this has changed experience of lot of apps. They have built beautiful apps, but people are still not able to get how to do that first transaction. Everyone is not tech savvy. So what do? You use a series of nudges in your app to take them a certain action. A person who is there to trade on your Forex app, can you help them design an experience where they go, click, select their options, and go and do first transaction? If you can create that kind of series of nudges and let them complete one transaction, believe you me, the adoption rate will go by 30 to 40%. And we have seen this with a lot of big brands that we have done with. Curb user drop-off, again, on the app, using personalization, right kind of message should be shown, right? Create that feeling of missing out in their behavior, that if I leave now, I might lose the offer for airlines, for any other stock which is running low on stock. You can show them like only 2 pieces left. If you miss out, you may not receive this opportunity again. Bringing the user back again. So again, creating an omni-channel experience for your users. So if they have left your app, show them some kind of communication, very relevant, very personalized, so that they come back to your app. Once they return to the app, show them right kind of nudges. That means where they left the journey. So last time, what they were doing, there was an item they did not purchase. There was a booking they wanted to make, but they did not book. So start the journey right from there once they come back to your app. And then checkout. That's one desired action you want them to explore. So like I said, you always have a hero feature in the app. And if you see the customer is going away without exploring my hero feature, please make sure that you show them a nudge to use that feature, at least explore it. And then definitely you can create the omni-channel experience once you confirm and thank you them for the entire experience. Again, a lot of examples that we can quote, right? There is a lot of challenge, and I've seen in UAE as well, there are some applications, some websites, some retailers who always say that, if you buy for 50 dirhams more, we will give you a free delivery. But they're not only promoting you for a free delivery, they also want to upsell. So by showing a small nudge where the cart value is below 100 dirhams or below 200 dirhams, a small such nudge saying that, hey, if you add these 30, 40 dirhams add, we will do free delivery for you. We have seen an uplift of revenue right from here as well. And in recommendation widgets, like I explained earlier as well, try to show them more variety. If they know they're believing to buy a sneaker, show them the best sneakers you have. And it should be based on their age, gender, their recent behavior on the website. Try to refresh it as soon as possible. One important discussion that I'm having a lot with brands these days is around churn predictions. And that is one problem statement that CDP also solves, right? So when you are opening or starting your day and you are just having your morning coffee, can you have numbers right in front of you? How many people are likely to churn in today or in a week's time? if your analytics dashboard can provide you that magic figure that today, these are the customers that are likely to churn. And on a click of a button, can you personalize a message sent to them that, hey, if you come back today, this is what we have. This solves a lot of problem with a lot of marketers, because the whole idea is to keep that tab closed and whoever is coming to my website doesn't drop. Because if they now uninstall the app or they forget about your app, you will have a really great time and you have to invest a lot to get them back. So having a proper churn prediction module incorporated in your marketing automation platform is really, really important. And we do that with the help of our AI as well. Again, key features that will keep your customers hugged. The first one is product experience. Make a wonderful product experience for your customers. Personalize each and every communication that you're sending to your customers. Use the right innovative customer engagement tool and knit everything with customer data platform. Some of the case studies, some of the clients that have used our personalization engines, Body Shop, you will be all aware of. Within a small span, we have given them an uplift of 13.2% in their revenue. I'm not talking about conversions or anything else. People, whatever revenue that you have in the previous month, this much uplift we have been able to give them by just providing a personalized experience. Another example of Once Upon a Trunk, where the overall revenue increased by 28% in like 90 days. Some of the brands that we work with, all are using one of the other services, whether they're using customer experience or they're using our personalization engine or they're using our customer engagement. So just make sure when a customer comes to you, make sure that you give them such an experience that they don't drop. And that is the bottom line. And keep a tab, keep it closed. Don't let anyone go out of the website. Thank you so much. Wonderful audience. Great time.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. Give him a big round of applause. It was a really great session on a really important topic today.